Student loan interest today and how to calculate that, and this is just an example of an exponential function. We've already studied exponential functions a little bit, but I also want to put Excel to work, or Google Sheets. I have a Google Sheets document open and I just want to take you through that process. So we're going to start out by typing in, we're just going to type in some words here. We're going to do a loan amount, interest rate, and we're not going to worry about closing this off right now, but we're going to look at, let's say for example that our student loan interest is, let's say $10,000. We've just got a student loan this year for $10,000 and the interest rate is at 8%. We're going to put that as a decimal. It's a 0.08. Now we're going to talk about this from the perspective, and I'm just moving over here, so we're going to go number of months, and we're just going to start scrolling down. We're going to put a couple months so that the computer can recognize what the relationship is, and then I'm going to drag down from the right corner once with that crosshair, and let's do this just for a year. And we're going to assume that you're not making any payments on the loan either. We're just going to go with that. We're going to type in balance. So how do we compute this? Okay, so it's going to be real important. You can play around with this, and you'll have this for later in life when you have to calculate these things. If you set things a particular way with either Google Sheets or Excel, I'm just going to call them spreadsheets. But what you have to do to denote a formula is you're going to have to put in an equal sign, and so that cues that we're dealing with a formula. Now, the amount of our loan that we're taking out is in, look at what cell it is. It's in cell A2. So that it just sticks with cell A2, I'm going to put a $A and a $2, which tells you, as you saw it light up, it tells you that's the cell that formula is coming from. And then I have to put a multiplication symbol and then a parentheses. And I'm going to do 1 because if there's no interest, it's just going to be 1 if there's no change in interest. But we have to add on that interest, and we're going to compound that interest monthly. Okay, so here's what it's going to look like if we do this monthly. It's going to be 0.08 divided by 12 months in a year, and then I'm going to do the caret key, and the number of months. I'm looking for a number of months. By the way, I don't want that 1.08. I'm going to change that. I want it to change depending on if I want to change my interest rate. So I'm going to do $A, $4, because that's the cell it's in. Okay, and then I want this to change because my number of months is in cell C2, so I'm going to type in C2. Okay, and so when I return, and the nice part about a spreadsheet is it's smart enough, it's going to fill in the rest for you once it knows the function. So I'm going to take that on, but if not, you could have dragged from the corner, pulled all the way down, but I'm going to accept that. So you'll notice, like in cell D9, you're going to see that it's taken the same value, the 0.08, the $10,000, which was the loan amount, and it's compounded it monthly. So it's compounded it 8 times, which is where the C in C9, it's the number of months, is 8 months. So you're going to see that if you took out that student loan at the beginning of the year, and over the course of a year you didn't pay anything on it, that's how much you now owe. Okay, so for the sake of borrowing that money from the bank at an 8% annual interest rate, you are now going to have to pay $10,830 for borrowing that $10,000 if you were pay it back. So over the course of that year, you have accrued $830 in interest. That's how much the bank is receiving or the student loan company for letting you borrow their money. So just for the sake, I'm just going to extend this out. Let's say you don't pay on this for 4 years. You go to school for 4 years, and this is just the $10,000 you borrow. So I'm going to drag that down. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to drag here. So now, after 4 years, you're going to owe $13,756.60 for borrowing that $10,000. So right now, you're going to pay $3,756.66 in interest. So let's suppose you didn't get a very good interest rate. You didn't get 8%. Let's go up to let's say it's 12%. Okay, you can immediately, everything changes because in that formula at the very beginning, we use that $sign A, $4, so automatically we have set it up so now it's interactive and it will change. Let's say, I have to borrow $15,000. So you'll now see $15,000. You'll now see, so that first month, borrowing it for that 1 month, you now have accrued $150 in interest. And over 4 years, that $15,000 you borrowed is now you owe them $24,183.39. So again, this is just a basic way to set it up. This is an exponential function. Take a moment and think about why it is. And this is also a recursive exponential function, but just wanted to show you an example of this.